Morning. How's it going? Right then. This story I covered. It's bright and early here in California, by the way. It's 7:05 a.m. This story I covered on Sunday was regarding Richard. Hello, mate. Sadwings, never off. Susan Wojcicki. I'm not a troll. I'm an opinionated former Marine. Well, Marine with lots of strong opinions, but I'm not a troll. Anyway, I want to have a quick chat about this because remember I covered it on Sunday. Francis Macron vows to fight Islamist separatism. For those of you that haven't seen it, I'll quickly blast through it now. It's French President Emmanuel Macron has announced plans for tougher laws to tackle what he called Islamist separatism and defend secular values. Morning, Guy. In a keenly awaited speech, he said a minority of France's estimated 6 million Muslims were in danger of forming a counter-society. Yep, well, we saw that coming 10 miles off, didn't we? Helen Keller could have saw that coming. We don't often talk about her in England. A lot of people probably don't know who she is, but she was basically a blind, deaf mute from America, and she did quite a lot of... Well, she achieved a lot considering she had the situational awareness of a goldfish in a hijab, right? She got a lot done, but that's who Helen Keller is. Can't hear, can't see, somehow managed to, start a school, which is impressive. Like, I had able-bodied teachers who were barely capable of running a fucking school. Well done, Helen Keller. Anyway, yeah, pinball wizard. Unfortunately, Richard, he wasn't real. That deaf, dumb and blind kid who sure played a mean pinball, he wasn't real. So Helen Keller, she gets more credit. No, we aren't far behind. We aren't. Again, being an island saved us in World War II. And I think it can save us moving forward, can't it? Like on Kingdom of Men. If anyone hasn't seen that, that's a fantastic film. You should watch it. The director is a visionary, and he's been proven to be surprisingly astute, and it's been really clever seeing where the political winds were going and seeing what was coming. The only part of it he got wrong was that the government wouldn't have the balls to instigate any of it, because like all the stuff in Kingdom of Men's coming true. Massive migration just coming over, cracking their own detail, criminals, murders. I mean, you would seriously think after the Manchester Stadium bombing that they would have screwed the nut, but they haven't. Like, dead kids isn't enough, and if dead kids isn't enough to make the government screw the nut, what is? What's that? Seen the BBC video showing Trump going back to the White House? No, I haven't seen that. It is unbelievable. The rhetoric regarding Trump is unbelievable. Like, even if you hate him and you think he's just the orange god, right? That's my new name for him. Because I don't understand what he's got in, why he likes the fake tan. It does look ridiculous, and everyone's been calling him Tangerine Man for the last 4 years. Why don't you just stop going on the tanning tubes? It's a weird vanity thing. But there's a lot of things I think about that. Same with I didn't see any rimming joke fish. That's probably YouTube if someone's deleted your comment. That being a big fan of rimming, I would never dream of deleting such a thing. What was I going to say? Can't remember now. But yeah, he's the rhetoric's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, again, you can dislike the guy, but he's not a fucking genocidal maniac, is he? They said he was going to start World War III. 4 years ago, they were like, he's going to start World War III, and he's like being nice to Kim Jong. He's been nice to he hasn't caused any chew at all. It hasn't kicked off. So 4 years later, they're like, oh yeah, Hitler. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. Even if you think he's a knobhead, all he's done is like go, oh yeah, America's class. And that's it. No one's died. He hasn't invaded anyone. He's dropped less bombs than fucking Obama. That's a fact. So it really does baffle me they keep calling him Hitler. But it's childish as well, isn't it? If you live through a concentration camp and you see them talking about Trump like he's fucking Adolf, it's got to sort of offend you. It's like, I didn't go through that to see jumped up little twats like you on your iPads in Starbucks talking about how Hitler, they call him Cheeto Mussolini. Yeah, unfunny for starters, because they're not fucking funny. The left can't meme and they aren't funny. But they're all like, Cheeto Mussolini. It's like, listen, you little shit. I didn't live through fascism and death camps to get you calling a guy Mussolini when the most he does is do a bad impression of disabled people and rip the piss out of people on Twitter. I mean, get a sense of perspective. If he was anything like Mussolini, I was arguing with some daft cunt in a brewery months ago about him saying like, what do you mean you think he's a fascist? He's like, yeah, he's a fascist. I was like, well, I'll tell you what. If he was a fascist, you'd have been buried by now, opening your mouth, talking complete shit. You wouldn't even be saying this, would you? You'd have found a hole in the desert and stuck you in it, because that's what Hitler would have done. That's what Mussolini would have done. Do you think Chris Cuomo wouldn't have ended up buried up to his neck somewhere, or tossed out of a helicopter? Like, it is unbelievable all that's gone on, and to call him that. Like, 4 years he's been in charge. None of his political enemies have disappeared. Like, it's a bit weird, isn't it? What didn't I get? Oh, okay, tongue-in-cheek, right, there you go. Went over my head. I'm being like most men, I'm not very good at multitasking, so when I'm trying to talk about serious political issues, I only pay 25% of the attention to the chat. Not easy, is it? They reckon women are proven to be better at multitasking. Like birds can iron, cook, and masturbate their husband to fruition all at the same time. They're fucking marvellous creatures. So yeah, I'm a feminist. They're better than women can multitask, which proves their superiority to men in that one way. Not in all of them. That's something that makes me laugh nowadays, isn't it? Every movie and TV show you see, there's a fucking 90-pound woman knocking 10 bells of shite out of 15 blokes. And I just think, they are living in a fantasy land, aren't they? Like, they watch too much TV and too... Not my wife, Richard. Yeah, well, if she really concentrated, she could be able to do 40 things all at once. Which is really weird. Women, my missus can do it. Multitask much better than men. Apparently men focus better on one thing. Women better at numerous things at once. Total bollocks. Apparently that's science. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with the science men. Right? I'll tell you another one that nobody knows. Gingers feel more pain. There's a good one. I'm going to find that for you, in fact. Because no one believes me about that one. Gingers feel more pain. There we go, look. Fox piss feels more pain. Oh, they're not tough. Fuck off, they've ruined it. Tougher than everybody else. Apparently, blah, blah, blah. Ginners, about 10% of the population. No. I've read it years ago, but I just know it. Feel pain differently, different reactions. The electronically induced pain. Basically, ginners feel more pain. There's an interesting one, isn't it? So there you go. That's a true fact. But yeah, women multitask better than men. Apparently that's 100% nailed on fact. But we are different, aren't we? If you look at the science, this is why I'm always arguing again. I'm not a particularly right-wing person. I think I look at every individual issue and come to a common sense conclusion. Like, I think that's why I will still call myself a centrist. I definitely am. Like, if you point me at something and give me loads of reading material, I will always do my very best to come away with a common sense view of it. And I don't think most people do that. Especially in America, you're either a hardcore Republican or you're a hardcore Democrat. Like, they're not interested in the ins and the outs of every issue. They just take a position and they stick to it. Me, I bounce around. So things like immigration, I'm very right wing on it, because like, look at the numbers, and I'm going to get onto that, which is why I made this video. The numbers astound me. So you read and read and read, and you get all the data and the facts, and you try to get both sides of the argument, and you come to a conclusion, and they call that hate. Like, if you go, well, I'm pro-immigration for this reason, and we definitely should have more immigration from Africa and Asia, as long as they've got the skills we need, and as long as this, and as long as this, and you go through it, and they go, yeah, we like that, and then as soon as you say something they don't like, there is far more money being spent on the NHS, and a shortage of beds and nurses and doctors and school places because of unbridled immigration. They go, fucking Nazi, you fucking scum, evil. It's like, I'm sorry, again, sad wings, this is what I'm to keep saying to you. This is why I can get on with anyone. Like, when I go to the pub, I can get on with anyone. If I end up talking to a screaming lefty, I'll try and talk to him, guide him in the direction of things that I'll agree with him on. Like, I don't think I'm an ideologue at all. It depends on the evidence. But the evidence demands that we screw the nut on immigration. Like, it demands it. They're never going to not keep coming, are they? Like, this is what I keep telling people. Like, how many is too many? If we let 1 million people into Britain, like today, could we absorb it? Probably. But it'd be hard work. It'd be really hard work. We'd have to distribute them really evenly. The hospitals would be fucking full. The roads would be full. The schools would be full. There'd be loads of negatives. So we go, it's hard work. Yeah, the economic one's a really good argument. There's loads of things you have to think about. And they're just in the feels, aren't they? They want feels before reals. They go, yeah, but I'd feel better if we let 1 million people in. And I'm like, well, yeah, but think about, again, talking about logic. The old Egyptian Prime Minister famously said, educated Egyptians view the UK as a lifeboat. But he said, but if you let too many people on the lifeboat, it fucking sinks. Right? And then who are you helping? So think of it this way. If you let in 500,000 and you can assimilate them, those 500,000 people are going to be happy and have good lives. But if you don't have any system at all and you let in 50 million, then the place they've moved to will be as bad as the place they came from. Because the infrastructure will collapse completely, right? So no one will get a school place. No one will get a hospital bed. No one will be able to go to the dentist. Everything will collapse. So if you do it reasonable and sensibly... yeah, I do, exactly. Because I bounce around the issues. Exactly right, blood and braces. Because I bounce around the issues. I follow the logic where it leads. Don't shoot the messenger. I've just got an analytical brain. Sorry, my fucking mistake. Right? Don't blame me. That's the way it works. Send me some sensible, liberal, left-wing talking points, and I'll back them to the hilt. There's evidence for them all the way. But on immigration, sorry. Like, I mean, there's a good one. Prison reform. I'm very left on prison reform, because I've looked at the data, and there's a lot of data that suggests that if you just constantly go hardcore on what normal conservative people in England are like, is, you know, give them all the birch, lock them all up in the borstles, fucking, you know, just be hardcore on crime. A lot of evidence that that's not the way forward. They've categorised crimes by type, and there's loads of small ones, victimless crimes, where if you go soft on them and you basically send them to the courses, you know, we all laugh at the courses, like you go, oh, he's a rapist, let's send him to Flamingo Land, like on a course. We laugh at them, but there's loads of soft crimes where it's proven that they're less likely to re-offend and they're more likely to get a job. And what does getting a job do? You pay your taxes. You go from being a drain to a producer. So there's loads of reasons why crime is, basically it should go from process crimes and hardcore ones, and you bifurcate them aggressively. And if you do a process crime, or any of the ones that the data suggests have a really high success rate for rehabilitation, those guys get treated with kid gloves. And then you get the hardcore ones like the fucking pedos and the serial killers and the murderers, and then you bullet in the fucking head. right? So again, I'll go both ways on it. I'll be a mega lefty and mega right wing, depends. Because mega right wing, you have to be, don't you? If you do a crime because there was a reason for it, and there's a logical reason as to why you offended. Flamingo Land. Yeah, I used to go, if anyone doesn't know, Flamingo Land is a sort of northern fucking theme park, and it is terrible. It's like I used to go when I was a bairn, and you'd have like fucking, it's called Flamingo Land, but there's hardly any flamingoed. It's like they get a fucking swan in a headlock and spray it pink, and fuck it off into the woods. And yeah, there's your flamingo. Baboon Island, yeah, we used to gang over there when I was a lad, and you used to throw rocks at the baboons, and they'd like shit in their hand and fling it back at you. Like, you'd go on a night in Flamingo Land, this rough northern fucking theme park, and it was like monkey wars. It was baboons versus chavs, and they'd be throwing cans and bottles at each other. It was quality to see. Anyway, yeah, static quality. I used to love Flamingo Land, fucking quality. Anyway. Yeah. What was I talking about? Intending to do a stream about because you guys get me talking. And I'm a fucking gobshite. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we are. So, the point of the stream was going to be, for those that are late, Macron vowed to fight Islamist separatism. I talked about it on Sunday. And I read an article this morning telling us that the reason he's doing it is because he's evil. Which, again, you can't make it up, can you? Like, Macron has been a centrist milquetoast fucker his entire life. But they're calling him a right-wing bastard now. And the story I read was, so this one from Sunday, I'll blast through it mega fast because you guys that subscribe, you'll have already heard me talking about it. But the short version is, Macron said he's going to screw the nut, aggressively push back against Islamic separatism and defend secular values. He gave a big speech and said the Muslims are forming a counter-society, it's not good enough, we need to have oversight of schooling, we need to control the foreign funding of mosques, etc. Perfectly logical, and again, following the evidence where it lies. You have to follow the evidence where it lies. That's going to happen. If those numbers keep going up, it's going to happen. So this morning, what do I see? Macron's not worried about Islam. He's worried about Le Pen, right? Well, he's told us. You can't say fairer than that. He's fucking told us. If he comes... This is what I hate about cringing lefty wankers. What I hate about them is, you tell them in plain English what you think and why you think it. And they go, nah, you don't think that. Like, seriously, Guardian readers are the worst, man. Like, I've been arguing with them in pubs and stuff. And you go, oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. And they go, oh, no. It's just because you don't understand the argument. And you go, no, I understand it, I just don't agree with it. And they go, nah, if you educated yourself, and they use all the buzzwords, the AOC and the like, don't they use all the buzzwords. Oh, but it informs outcomes, and you're denying their existence, and silence is violence, and it's not enough to be it's not enough to be nice to black people, you've got to be aggressively anti-white people, then you're an ally, and all this fucking bullshit. And you're sitting there going, no, but I don't agree with you though. And they're going, no, you do. You're like, I don't. No, you do. You just don't think you do because you need to educate yourself. But when you educate yourself, you'll definitely agree with me. See you later, and then the fuck off. And you're sat there going, well, that went well. Like, people are fucking maniacs. The far left, they will not have it because they've been so aggressively indoctrinated that they're not interested in listening to you. You can deny it, disagree with them, they go, nah. If you understand it all, you'd agree with me. See ya. Fucking lunatics. Where else? A few more. Yeah, I am a centrist. Of course I am. Definitely. On every fucking political spectrum, I am one. Because on all the socially liberal stuff that I'm interested in, like gay marriage or abortion or drug use or gambling or addiction, basically, British conservatives are not the same as American conservatives, because American conservatives are socially conservative. We don't care about fucking vice. You know, when I came over here and you get some Baptist preacher talking about drinking and gambling being the devil, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, they're all the things I like. So I'm with the liberals on socially liberal stuff. gay marriage, abortion. I've told siblings this before. Don't care. I don't give a fuck. There's too many kids as it is, right? They're going about the sanctity of life. Don't care. We need oil and diamonds more than we need children. There's billions of the little bastards. I don't care. So I'm totally at odds with the right wing on that. Don't give a fuck. You should be in charge of your own ovaries, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm socially liberal. But I'm a conservative in that I like the society I grew up in, and I want to maintain it, conserve it. And England is not going to be England if they spend the next 50 years importing millions and millions of random foreign strangers from across the globe. And I'm not even against them if they get vetted. If we need another 20,000 doctors to come over from fucking Hong Kong, yeah, we let loads of guys in from Nepal. It doesn't start with gay marriage. Cheshire, that there is the slippery slope argument, isn't it? Like the people who said, oh yeah, you know, you let the blokes suck each other off and the next thing we're all going to be fucking donkeys. Well, I'm not. So there's one. Put me down, right? At no point has gay marriage made me get into cock. I don't have a sudden desperate desire to get conker deep in a sailor's ring piece. Not happening. So I don't care. I'm about the individual, like I keep. No, not centrist when it suits. Following the evidence when it suits, right? I don't believe that my own individual faculties will get affected by the behaviour of other people, is the short one. So if you want to go and fucking daisy chain round a gay bar with a load of sweaty men, you crack on and do it. And I'll stay at home having cold, joyless sex twice a month with my wife. I'm kidding. She's a good egg, my missus. Point is, I'm socially liberal. I think the individuals do what you fucking like. My rights don't end where your feelings begin, which is what I tell the lefties, and it also applies to the right wing, doesn't it? Like if you're a Baptist and you think drinking and gambling's bad, prostitution, drugs, you do you. You do. I'm all for you. I'm pro-religion. You do you. Don't go to church. You don't get shit-faced. You don't go to the casino. Me, I'm straight off to the casino and I'm going to the titty bar afterwards. And it's got nothing to do with you. So, yeah, depends. I bounce around the issues. So back to these twats. He's told them exactly what he means, exactly why he said it, and exactly and straightforwardly what his plan is. And they've just come fucking forward and said, oh yeah, well, he doesn't really mean that. What he really means is he's worried about the far right, so he's doing it for votes. He isn't. He's doing it because the numbers suggest that France is in real shit if they don't square this away, right? So it's last Friday, President Emmanuel Macron warned that a minority of France's 6 million Muslims could form a counter-society and Islam was facing a crisis all around the world. I could talk about that for an hour because I know a lot about that. The short version is, it is, because you've basically got a civil war in Islam. You've got the reformists fighting against the traditionalists. And if the traditionalists win, we're all fucked. Because they believe every single letter in the Quran was written by God. It was dictated by an angel over a period of 20 odd years. And nothing can be changed ever. And that's the real problem. Islam's butting heads because you've got millions of reformists butting heads with millions of conservatives who will not and cannot accept any changes at all to it. So them bits that say, you know, fucking toss the gays off the roof, they're doing that because it says so in their holy books. It's a problem. They're denying it's a problem. Nah, it's not a crisis. Nah, it's not a crisis. It's a fact. It's a proven fact. That's what's happening. It's a schism in Islam, and we need to be sure that the reformists win. Anyway, she then goes into this lengthy screed. It was only last year The Guardian ran a piece titled, well, if it was in The Guardian, we can ignore the fucking thing, can't we? The myth of Eurabia, it's in The Guardian. If The Guardian tells you to do something, do the fucking opposite, and you won't go far wrong. But anyway, so it's a long piece. I'm not going to read it to you. If you want to go through it, here's the link. I'll stick it in the chat. Fuck it. Yeah, the traditionalists are the head choppers. So your money should be on them. And the reason I want to do this stream was Holy shit. So I did that last Sunday. I've talked about this with you guys now. This is total bollocks. He's told them what he wants. He's told them why he needs to do it. He's told them what the issue is. And they just want to stick their fingers in their ears, as usual. Fields before reels. And just go, oh, it's not happening, everything's fucking fine. Everything's fine, fuck it, it'll be sorted. They're only occasionally scattering children up the walls of fucking stadiums. They're only occasionally going into rock concerts and bayoneting fucking babies. Mental that they think they can ignore this and it's just going to go away. I always tell people this. Far left lunatics who just think it'll be fine is basically their mantra. It'll be fine. If you look at the numbers and they go up every single year, more hate crimes, more killings, more terrorism, more conversions to radical Islam, more. I'm like, when do you think it's going to be a problem? Just go, it's going to be fine. What do you think in 10 years' time it's suddenly going to go up every year and then off a cliff and we're all going to be best mates? It's not going to happen. It's mental how they just stick their fingers in their ears. So, yeah, mental. Don't get it. They're all talking shit about him. And as I said, I'm a numbers man. I want to talk through the numbers because here is where the rubber hits the road. They're denying there's a problem. I'm telling you straight my point about checking the numbers. Yeah, Trucker Peace, Bataclan. That was shocking, that Nice, the truck driver in Nice. Again, these young liberals now, they don't know any of this stuff because they are pig ignorant. Like in America, you know, I was here, working here, when Charlie Hebdo went off. And I went into work the next day and I was like, fucking hell, remember Charlie Hebdo? And they were like, what? Didn't know anything about it. It is mental. I just want to put the fingers in their ears. Off it. And again, you know, I keep saying how they make me defend Trump because they just make stuff up about him. I'll criticise him all day long when he says something retarded. He does say retarded things sometimes. He's not the best speaker. His vocabulary's worse than mine and he's a world leader. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm clever enough to be a major world leader and my vocabulary is slightly larger than Trump's. He talks like, you know, like I did when I was 14. Like, he only knows about 400 words. So I slag him off all the time. But they're constantly making me defend him because they make things up. Completely invent quotes. I mean, here's the best one. How many times have you heard that fucking very fine people lie? Like a blatant, outright lie from the left. Like, and the reason I get offended by it is, if it's a blatant, outright lie, and you know everybody knows it's a lie, and you know anyone who ever reads a newspaper or ever checks what's going on in the public sphere knows for a 100% fact it's a lie, and you still say it anyway, I get really, really angry because I feel like it's, you sort of, what's the word? I find it to be insulting. I find it to be insulting if it's a blatant lie. If it's a good or a clever lie, right? Something that you could just give a veneer of respectability to, then I don't get offended by it because I think, oh, okay, I might find them out afterwards. But I go, yeah, well, I didn't know. That was a good lie. Good lies don't offend me. Bad lies offend me. Good lies annoy me because you shouldn't tell people lies just to win an argument. But bad lies offend me because it's like, you think I'm a moron. Like when Kamala Harris goes on television now, when this hoax has been going on for 3 years, and says, oh yeah, Trump said the Ku Klux Klan were very fine people. That genuinely offends me. Like, I don't just get pissed off. I get fucking angry because it's like, Kamala, you think I'm a moron. You think I'm a moron. Like, you can tell the worst lie ever and you think I'll forget it. That's offensive to me. It's like, I'm not that stupid, so fuck off, you condescending twat. But remember this, I put this on my Twitter the other day. This screen cap's off the BBC. The BBC defending Trump through gritted teeth. It said, she said, oh, Trump said there were very fine people on both sides. 3 years we've been debunking this. He's debunked it and categorically denounced the far right at least 100 times. And they keep saying it. So I'm like, now you're just annoying me. Now you think I'm a moron and I don't read newspapers, so I'm offended. You fucking twat. Yeah, they do forget the... And that was the quote, and this is on the BBC. The quote is correct, but in the same press conference, he said he wasn't referring to neo-Nazis or white nationalists. And he specifically said, I'm not talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. So if he says, I'm not talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists, they should be condemned totally. Why, 3 years later, are you fucking saying to me with a straight face, Donald Trump said he loves the Ku Klux Klan? It's like, you're a knobhead. Like, you think I'm a fucking idiot. And it always seriously pisses me off when they think I'm that stupid. Segue again, sorry. Here's the facts I was going to tell you. So these are facts. 100% demonstrable facts. What's this? So let me just go back to chat for a sec. Who's Tommy? Timmy. I know Timmy off South Park. Timmy. Times newspaper in a nutshell. The Times isn't terrible. It's better than the fucking Guardian. He knows all the best words. That's a good one. Yeah, I did like that. All the best words. Like Sarah Palin when they said, what newspapers do you read? She went, all of them. Couldn't name one. Just all of them. Kamala lies because she knows the media and the Democrats push it, believe it, but yeah, just blatant. But I'm saying, I think that makes normal people support Trump more, because seriously, normal people, like I keep saying, the general public is cleverer than people give them credit for. The elites, the social engineers, they're all thick as fuck. They think we're a bunch of morons. They think normal people are idiots. And I think when normal people like us, you read the newspapers every day, you listen to your friends in the pub, you listen to the radio, you read magazines, you read the papers, you take it all in from everywhere, and you know you're getting misled by everyone because everyone's partisan. And you make your own mind up. So I think it does harm blatantly lying the way they do about Trump, because it's condescending and it's fucking annoying. Like, it genuinely annoys me. I'm not exactly a big fan of Trump. Like I said, I'm not a social conservative. But it's like, if you're just going to keep lying to me, well, fuck you then. Ah, okay. Tommy Robinson. Yeah, not really my thing. I'm not that interested. Again, knowing what I know about it from osmosis through reading the papers every day, I know the BBC and the media lies about him and he's just a fucking... seems to just be a normal working class bloke. I did watch his talk at Oxford a few years ago. Seems reasonable to me. I don't think he's the fucking devil. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's outrageous to just make shit up. So these fucking facts, I wanted to point you at some of them because they astounded me. So moving on from what I talked about last Sunday, here's a rebuttal that doesn't make any sense at all, saying he's definitely not worried about Islam. He's definitely not worried. He really is just worried about votes. Fucking ridiculous. Here's some facts, right, from good sources. First up, look at this one. Muslims are 12% of France's population, but make up 70% of prisoners. Like, you can't argue with that, can you? The prisoners majority Muslim, virtually every house of incarceration in France. About 60 to 70% of all inmates in the country's prison system are Muslim, according to Muslim leaders, sociologists and researchers, though Muslims make up only 12% of the country's population. Tell me that's not a fucking problem. Just like I said, do the maths. What these social engineers, these lefty activists and these politicians never do is they never think of the human cost when it goes against their ideology. And like I'm saying, I'm a middle of the road bloke. I think of the human cost because I'm a normal working class person. I don't like get above my station and think, oh, let's fix the world. I just think of it on a human level. So when they say something like in America, oh yeah, there's this eye drop that can stop little Mexican kids from going blind and it costs 60 cents. So they're all coming over, but we're paying for it. And I'm thinking, well, I do side with the lefties here because, like, it's only $1. Like, we shouldn't be paying for it, but if it's only $1, it probably only add up to a few $1 million a year. Just pay it. If we're going to stop little kids, illegal or not, from going blind, fucking do it. I don't care. Things like that, and got the left on. It's like, yeah, we can deal with that. It's fine. Things like that. Or 70% of all the fucking prison inmates are Muslims in a country where they only make up 12% of the population. And I just think, how can you not see that and go, oh yeah, we've got a problem here? Just think of the human cost. Think of the victims of these crimes. Every one of them's done something shocking. Well, not everyone. There's be some processed crimes in there, won't there? But think about it. Murders, rape victims, paedophiles. Think of the women who get raped. Think of the children that get molested. Think of the men that get murdered. It's like there's a human cost to all of these fucking statistics that politicians and lefty arseholes keep talking about. They just want to think of the big picture. Oh man, it's about the globe. It's about the big picture, bro. No, just think about it. Think about a 15-year-old getting dragged down an alley and gorilla fucked by 9 Moroccans. Think about what happens to her. I don't care about the big picture. Fucking me. So that's mental, that. And as you say, that's 12 years ago. So who knows where we're at now? Has it magically got better? I seriously doubt. Let's get another good one. 70% of burglaries are committed by first or second generation immigrants. Like, alright, so we're importing burglars. Nice old lady, minding her own business, wakes up, comes downstairs, someone's pinched the TV, smashed the window and shit on her fucking kitchen floor. Don't think that's a problem. Don't think that's any... No. Yep, fuck her, she'll get used to it. She won't. She won't. It's frightening. It's mentally fucking traumatic. It's shit. Don't just tell me, oh, well, 70% of the burglaries are committed by first or second generation, but bring them all in anyway. Who cares? We can handle it. We can't. We can't. One old woman coming downstairs to some fucking little bastard crimping one off in the kitchen is too many when we can stop it. Look at this one from Pew Research. More than 40% of young Muslims believe terrorism is justified. 40% from Pew, right? It's not from fucking... Yeah, it's a HTML version of a Pew Research file, pewresearch.org. It's not a small deal, is it? At all. 40% of them. 40% of them think it's justified. Going into the Bataclan and bayoneting fucking girls in wheelchairs, they think that's justified. And you don't think this is going to turn into a problem? 96% of rejected asylum seekers remain in the country. 96%. Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm assuming a lot of them get rejected because they've got a criminal record or they've raped or murdered or stolen or done something wrong. What are they still doing there? They'll go and do it again. And every single one of them that reoffends, that's on you, that's on the state. If one of them rejected asylum seekers stays and then caves a fucking old man's head in, that old man shouldn't have had his head caved in. It's your fault for not getting rid of them. So there's a human cost. Don't think about the big picture. Lefties, don't tell me, yeah man, but it's all in part of the big plan. No, think of the old man getting his fucking head caved in. Just think about him as an individual. What else? 1 in 5 believe terrorism is justified, often or sometimes justified. 1 in 5, not a problem. And if 1 in 5 think it's a problem, think it's justified, then it's fair to say probably 1 in 50 will go on and fucking do something, right? They're going to want to be a more hands-on approach. Then is it a problem? Is more dead kids? That's not a problem. No, we can just go, we're doing fields before reels today, Matty. We want the world to be a better place. Cheers then. Well, tell that to the woman who's scraping a fucking 8-year-old up off the fucking pavement. 15% of French people back ISIS. Yeah, 2014. Probably gone up, right? Been importing people every year. Probably gone up. Yeah, Nighthawk, I did read about it. It was seriously fucked up. Even a rock-hard bastard like me almost balked reading some of the shit that went on there. Hi, Adele. All right. What chat have I missed? Not too much. Keep saying we're all racist because don't buy into wokeness. Yeah, we just want to protect people. Like I said, human cost. I think of the raped women, the fucking diddled kids, the terrified old ladies, the man who's been knifed. Just think of the human cost and tell me none of this is a problem. So 15% of them back militant. I'll do one or two more, and then I'm going to have to shit can it. I've got stuff to do. I need to get ready. 40% of French Muslims don't have any French friends. Well, that's not the end of the world. But that is because we bring too many over and they're not forced to assimilate. If you do it in small numbers, like I said, you take in 25, 30,000 people a year, distribute them evenly, they'll turn out perfectly reasonable French citizens. No fucking issues. There are 751 Muslim ghettos in France. Unbelievable. Where all the crime gets bred. And this is a good one to end on, isn't it? This is probably why it's happening. Parasites and the externalization of evil. Yeah, 16% of French Muslims approve of ISIS. Jumps to 27% age group 18 to 24. What have I told you guys a dozen times because I've trained all that fucking stuff? Fighting age men always cause the problems. We know all of this. We know the science. We know the data. We know the facts. All these twats on the fucking left go, oh yeah, let's talk about the science and the data. Well, no, they only want to talk about science and the data when it verifies everything they want to tell you. They're not like me where they'll individually jump around the issue depending on what the data says. They just want data that backs them up. If the data is data they don't want to read, like 27% of French 18 to 24-year-olds supports fucking ISIS, well, deep six the fucking data. Yeah, fuck the data then. It's unbelievable. So there we go, and it says in France, Hollande won the presidential majority. Muslim voters chose him over Sarkozy by a 93% margin. So basically, they pandered to them for votes. Maybe that is where the rubber meets the road. Maybe that's why they don't do anything about it. Because they're importing a voter base. Just maybe, right? And everyone says that and they go, no, that's just a far-right conspiracy theory. Well, it looks like the numbers add up, doesn't it? And it's the same in England, Bradford, Leicester, places where Keith Vaz was for 30 years and they had industrial slavery and they did nothing about it. We know this goes on, right? Fucked. So, there's the data. I'll share that with you guys because I have to fuck off. There's all the data in there. I want to share it because leading on from what I said on Sunday, leading on to this fucking ridiculous nonsense article today, there's some facts, there's some statistics. Do your own fucking homework and let me know what you think. Because I think France massively is in the shit. And at least Macron is attempting now, finally, now it's probably too late, to do something about it. Maybe we should have a backbone. Boris is getting out-conservative by a bloke that isn't even a conservative. How about Boris gets a spine, the fucking little fat jellyfish with a wig on, gets a spine and copies Macron's lead, because we're going to have problems, and I just want it on record here and now, backed up by data. We're going to have problems, and I'm telling these dopey bastards, it needs to be squared away, or we're going to be scraping kids off the walls of the Manchester Arena yet again. Right? Done. There's the data. Go and do your own homework. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers, Richard, Brooke. Those of you that argue constantly. Blood and braces, yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll talk again soon. And yeah, I'll make sure I do a stream at some point this weekend. Cheers, guys. See ya.